Why you? That's the question you need to be able to answer in an interview. A lot of people go in an interview thinking, oh, I'm nervous and it's all about me, it's all about me. Actually, it's not about you. It's about the interviewers, the interview panel. It's about them getting the message and understanding clearly why it is they should take you into their organisation. I'm going to cover the purpose of interviews, the preparation required for interviews, and then how you actually present yourself at interviews. The purpose of interviews. If you think about a business, an organisation, it's like a jigsaw puzzle, okay? And there's a piece missing. So this is the role that you're going for. And what the organisation or the business do is they'll give you clues to what they're looking for. So there'll be a job description, there'll be a personal specification, and there'll be a competency framework, which is all the data, all the information they send you in the application pack, and those are the clues of what they're looking for. So what you're wanting to do is look at these clues and look for these clues. So the job description. The job description, basically the activities that you'll be expected to do to fulfill the role. Look at the job description, get your highlighter pen out, pick up the key points that they are trying to get across. This is what we're expecting you to do. We want a safe pair of hands. The personal specification. This is a very, very important document to read. This is the decision-making criteria. So they've identified the job description. This is what we expect you to do. And then they've highlighted the skills, knowledge, experience, qualifications, technical abilities they believe are the criteria to ensure that the person can do those job activities as efficiently and as effectively as possible. So get your highlighter pen out, look to see what the skills, knowledge and experience, qualifications, technical ability. Now what some organisations will also do, they will reference a competency framework. Again, this is a very important document to know and understand. So what are competencies? So a job requires a mixture of behaviours, attitude and actions, and a competency based interview is to look for evidence. They're always gathering evidence, and it's specifically in relation to that competency. Okay, so it could be decision-making competency, and they will highlight and outline the indicators that will give them the evidence that you're good at making decisions. Okay, so the competency framework is very, very important to understand it, and then what you're wanting to do is to look to see, well, what have I got that can match these competencies and the skills, knowledge and experience. So the next part of your preparation is to look in the mirror, to look to see, okay, this is what they're looking for. What is it that I have that will match what they're looking for? Because what you're wanting to do is to give your examples. They're looking for evidence. And again, go for the truth. Go for what you have actually done. It will become apparent in an interview if you haven't been there, done that, okay? Because they're looking for evidence. Again, it's a legal process, so they're writing down what you say, which then is the evidence that they can then base and justify their decision on. So for your preparation, you then think about, well, what have I done? What are my examples? What am I proud of? What have I achieved? And what you're wanting to do is unravel those examples. You're wanting to unravel that and look to see, okay, well, how did I do that? How did I go about doing that? And in order to do that, what you want to do is you want to look at your examples and think, okay, well, what was the context? What was the background? What did I actually do? What was the challenge? Quantify it where you can, scope and scale, money, time scales, people involved. Then what did you actually do? So if they're looking for good team working experience, then give them the context of the team, the challenges the team had, specifically your role. The topic is you. What did you actually do? What did you do to help the team work? What difference did it make that you were there? What was your contribution? And then what was the result? Context, action and result. What was the challenge, the issue, the action, the result? So your context, you're talking about a minute. Your action, you're talking about 3 minutes. And the result is a minute, and the results should tie back into the context. So this was the challenge, this is what I did, and this was what the outcome was, and what you'll normally get is a knock-on. There'll be another benefit from it as well. Typical questions, there'll be open questions in relation to the criteria that they've set, and it's up to you then to answer those questions. Might necessarily give you prods or prompts to say any more. So the preparation you do beforehand is to draw that out, think about that experience, think about that's relevant to the competency or the skills that they're asking for. Do the thinking for them, join the dots for them. You're wanting to match it all the time. A really good question to prepare for is, what would you bring to the role? And again, I would say to you to do an audit. Okay, what skills, knowledge and experience do I have that's going to make me a best fit for the role? Top tips: make sure you research the organisation, make sure you understand what the role is all about, get feedback from other people on what they have noticed that you've achieved. Start to write down your achievements, start to make a catalogue either on the computer or hard copy, and notice what you're doing well. Important to put that structure in place, because again, it's making it as easy as possible for the interviewers to actually listen and understand and actually follow what you're saying. If it's a competency-based interview, check what the competencies are in relation to the role, understand them, break them down to the lowest common denominator, to what does this actually mean, and therefore it's easier to relate to it in your real life rather than using the fancy words. The fancy words and keywords, they can come later, but you have to understand the meaning of them. Practice your answers, say it over again, record yourself, get comfortable with the words, the terminology, and it's an iterative process to try and get it better and stronger all the time. Again, obvious, but arrive in plenty of time. Think and visualise what the room's going to be like. Give yourself time to breathe, to compose yourself, and actually imagine yourself in the role. It's important you go in with that confidence that I'm here, I know I can do this job, I'm a safe pair of hands for you. So your preparation: research the company. What are their challenges? What's keeping them awake at night? What's coming down the line? So do your research. Think about some of the things that people will be interested in. They'll want to know a bit of your background, what your motivation is, why do you want this job. They'll want to know about what knowledge you have thought about the company, about the role, what it will be like. They want people to come in with their running and hit the ground running. They'll want to know about teamwork. They'll want to know about your actual experience. They'll want to know your insight, i.e., what would you do in your first 100 days? What do you think the challenges of the role would be? They'll want to know that you've formulated some type of thinking. They'll want to know, for example, how tolerant you are of ambiguity, diversity. These are things that are very, very common in creativity, innovation. When you're actually doing your interview, think about the body language, think about the message. Even if you're nervous, remember to keep that composure, to have your shoulders back, head high, get that oxygen in. Don't be too assertive, be confident, don't lean across the desks, don't intimidate them. Stand up, take your lead from them when it comes to shaking hands. Body language gives a very, very important message that you need to think carefully that you want to get across. Mindset, again, come with confidence, the belief, faith and trust in yourself that you can actually do this, and don't worry about the competition. You just think about yourself. You think about yourself getting over the line, and that you have built up the examples, you know what they're looking for, and you have the confidence that you can meet the criteria. Finally, preparation is the key to success. If you want to find out any more, my name is Claire Bain. At Next Steps, this is my number, and you can book a free 15-minute call to explore how can I help you prepare for your interview. Thank you.